Imagine standing at the edge of the world's deepest oceans, a realm so vast and dark that light barely penetrates, where the pressure could crush a human body like fragile glass. This is where some of Earth's greatest mysteries lie, hidden beneath layers of immense water and crushing weight. The ocean, covering over 70% of our planet, remains mostly unexplored, and with each new expedition, scientists uncover creatures that seem almost too strange, too alien, to belong to our world. What if the creatures of the future defy everything we know about biology and evolve in ways that are both awe-inspiring and deeply unsettling? What if beneath the waves, the boundaries of reality blur, giving birth to forms of life no imagination has yet dared to predict? This journey into the unknown invites you to consider not only what creatures might exist, but what the ocean itself might become. A living, breathing enigma full of secrets waiting to reveal themselves. The ocean's sheer enormity breeds a dark fascination. Its depths are a world apart from our own. Unlike the land, where daylight guides life's rhythm, the deep sea exists in permanent darkness. A world ruled not by sight but by other senses, where survival demands bizarre adaptations. It's a world of extremes. Freezing cold temperatures, lethal pressures, and scarce food. These challenges have already produced some of the most bizarre creatures on Earth. Creatures that look as if they belong to a science fiction nightmare. But what happens when evolution continues unabated, offering these deep-sea dwellers unimaginable adaptations? How might their shapes and sizes morph in response to new environmental pressures, perhaps from climate change or shifting ocean chemistry? The answers provoke both wonder and a prickling fear of what lurks just beyond our vision and understanding. In this vast, dark expanse, size can be an advantage, but it is not just about growing bigger. Take the giant squid, a creature of legend and terror, rumored by sailors over centuries. Tentacles stretching towards monstrous lengths, eyes the size of dinner plates, stalking the abyssal plains. But what forces push these creatures to such colossal sizes? The mysterious phenomenon known as deep-sea gigantism hints at something far beyond ordinary biology. Higher pressures, colder temperatures, and perhaps scarce food resources drive the evolution of immense body sizes as a survival tactic. Imagine future sea creatures expanding these traits, becoming grotesquely enormous. Their massive forms moving silently in the heavy water like ghosts from some aquatic crypt. The thought sends a chill down the spine. What does it mean if beings so vast and alien prowl the ocean's uncharted territories? But colossal giants are just one side of this aquatic story. The deep sea is home to creatures that bend the rules of what a living organism should look like. Some are transparent, their ghostly forms haunting the inky blackness, while others sport bizarre appendages that seem designed by nightmares. Luminous lures, multiple eyes, and unsettling, almost mechanical-looking jaws. These shape-shifting marvels are evolutionary experiments turned inside out, bizarre adaptations to the ocean's ceaseless challenges. Might future sea life evolve even stranger forms, blending traits in ways that make them unrecognizable? Could we see creatures whose shapes defy symmetry, whose bodies ripple with eerie light in the midnight sea, designed not just to survive but to confuse, hypnotize, or terrify those who encounter them? Yet, beyond the creatures themselves, the ocean's environment can become an agent of horror. Dangerous phenomena such as sudden methane gas eruptions capable of sinking ships without warning, colossal rogue waves rising from nowhere, and shifting magnetic fields that disrupt navigation paint the sea as a living, unpredictable monster. These natural events add to the ocean's mystique, an environment where even seasoned sailors feel the unease of invisible forces lurking just beneath the surface. Could future marine life evolve to exploit these phenomena? What if some creatures learn to harness the ocean's deadly secrets, using rogue waves or toxic gas clouds as weapons or defense mechanisms? The ocean itself could become an alien entity, its natural temperament shaping the evolution of life frozen between mystery and menace. Consider the evolutionary pressures future sea creatures might face. At the hands of warming waters, acidifying seas, and plastic-laden currents. These stressors will force species into evolutionarily dramatic leaps. From parasitic forms to monstrous predators, evolution could give rise to nightmarish creatures with thick armor plating, spiked limbs, or grotesque forms that inspire both fascination and fear. Imagine sea monsters with jaws that crush steel, or hunters that mimic bioluminescent light to lure victims into the abyss. These evolutionary nightmares could symbolize the ocean's ruthless power, where survival demands horror and adaptation takes dark, unexpected turns. How close could such creatures come to our deepest fears, yet remain undeniably real? As we stand on the cusp of this unknown future, it becomes clear that the ocean is less a place of calm blue waves and more an otherworldly landscape, a planet within our own planet. It is a realm populated by creatures alien in shape, size, and behavior, monsters not born of myth but of natural selection, shifting with the tides of change. This eerie parallel world beneath the waves reminds us just how little we understand the vastness we live beside. Are these creatures lurking merely in our imaginations, or do they already swim just beyond the reach of our submersibles and sonar? And what stories would they tell if only we could listen? In the end, the future of sea life is a story of boundless mystery and primal awe, a place where science and speculation merge into a dark tapestry of possibilities. The ocean's future inhabitants will challenge not only the limits of biology but also the limits of human imagination. As you gaze at the sea, think of all the unseen shapes, sizes, and forms evolving silently in the depths, waiting for the moment to emerge and astonish us all. The ocean holds its secrets well, but one thing is certain. The future creatures of the deep will be unlike anything we have ever encountered, a blend of science, horror, and wonder that will forever change how we see the sea. Have you ever wondered what lies in the darkest reaches of our oceans, where sunlight never dares to venture? These shadowy depths are home to some of the largest and most mysterious creatures on Earth, beings that inspire both awe and fear. Imagine creatures so immense that their very existence seems mythical, lurking in the crushing darkness beneath the waves. The giant squid, for instance, has long fascinated sailors and scientists alike. With its long, powerful tentacles and massive eyes that seem designed to pierce the abyss. Known to grow up to 40 feet or more, this elusive creature remains largely hidden, fueling legends of monstrous sea beasts. But what if evolution takes gigantism even further? What forces drive these titans of the deep? And how could future giants grow to unimaginable proportions, challenging everything we think about marine life? One explanation for the enormous size of deep-sea creatures is a phenomenon called deep-sea gigantism, where species living in the cold, dark, and high-pressure environment of the ocean's depths tend to grow much larger than their shallow-water relatives. This might seem counterintuitive at first. Wouldn't scarce food mean smaller animals? But scientists propose that larger body size offers several survival advantages. Bigger animals have more fat reserves to survive long fasting periods in the deep, where meals are rare. They also have slower metabolisms due to the cold temperatures, allowing them to use their energy more efficiently over time. Coupled with fewer predators in these remote areas, these factors create a perfect storm for the evolution of giants. It's a reminder that life finds surprising ways to thrive in even the harshest of habitats. The giant squid isn't alone in the deep ocean giant club. Enter the colossal squid, a relative even larger and more mysterious, with specimens recorded at lengths of up to 46 feet. Unlike the giant squid's streamlined form, the colossal squid has a heavier, bulkier body, with sharp, swiveling hooks on its tentacles designed for gripping prey in the dark. Then there's the giant isopod, a monstrous crustacean resembling a giant armadillo that can grow over 2 feet long and survive years without food. These creatures seem like relics from a prehistoric nightmare, yet they are very much part of our ocean's present. Their massive sizes and strange, sometimes grotesque forms remind us that the ocean depths are like a different world, one where survival demands extraordinary adaptations. Why such enormous eyes on these deep-sea giants? The answer lies in darkness. With sunlight absent beyond a few hundred meters, creatures like the giant and colossal squid rely on their huge, sensitive eyes to spot prey or predators in the faintest glimmer of bioluminescent light. Some of the largest eyes in the animal kingdom belong to these squid species, with pupils larger than a basketball. This gives them a terrifyingly alien appearance, as if evolved for an otherworldly place. Their eyes are not just for seeing. They are survival tools, tuned to detect the faintest signals in a sea of darkness. Imagine encountering such a beast in the midnight waters, its giant eye looming out of the shadow, a silent sentinel of the abyss. Gigantism also extends to other mysterious creatures, like the giant ocean manta ray, stretching over 20 feet across with wings that flap gracefully through the water, or the ocean sunfish, one of the heaviest bony fish ever recorded, weighing up to a ton. The blunt-faced, almost mass-produced look of the sunfish can seem unnerving, as if cobbled together in some bizarre aquatic design lab. These giants symbolize the diversity of deep-sea extremes, where creatures adapt in size and shape to fill every possible ecological niche. They remind us that the deep sea is not just a place of monsters but of incredible biological innovation, where life experiments with the boundaries of form and function. But there's a darker side to this tale of giants. The deep ocean is a place where the usual rules don't always apply. Some scientists speculate that limited predation pressure and slow metabolisms allow animals to live longer and grow continuously, unlike most shallow water species. This means a deep-sea creature might spend decades growing ever larger, turning into a living relic of deep evolution. The vast loneliness and cold create a fishy version of the haunted mansion effect. Creatures grow big not just as a physical response, but as an eerie symbol of slow, relentless change. The ocean depths could harbor monsters that are not quick bursts of terror but slow, majestic giants shaped by time and silence. There's also a chilling thought about how these giant creatures feed and survive. Food in the deep ocean is scarce and unpredictable, often arriving as falling debris from above or rare lucky catches. Giants must gorge whenever food appears, sometimes consuming amounts that seem impossible. Giant isopods, for example, have been observed inflating themselves to monstrous sizes after feeding, so much so that they temporarily lose mobility, only to survive months or even years without another meal. This feast or famine lifestyle creates creatures that seem like ghosts, silently stretching their limits in a world where every meal could be the last. It's a survival strategy that breeds resilience but also a haunting reminder of the ocean's indifferent cruelty. As we ponder these giant denizens of the deep, we realize they challenge our perception of life on Earth. They are not just enormous animals. They are symbols of nature's capacity for adapting to mystery and extremity. Future sea creatures may dwarf the giants we know today, shaped by forces we barely understand. The scale and alien beauty of these oceanic titans beckon us to imagine the unknown, feeding both our curiosity and a primal awe. What strange and wonderful shapes might evolution carve in the coming millennia? What colossal beings may silently patrol the ocean's abyss, waiting to be discovered and studied? The mysteries of the deep continue to stretch our minds and fears, inspiring stories that blend science with the sublime terror and wonder of the unknown. Deep beneath the ocean's surface lies a surreal world where creatures take on forms so strange, so alien. They could easily belong to a science fiction film. Have you ever pictured a creature with an almost translucent body that reveals its internal organs like an eerie, self-illuminating ghost? The ocean's depths host such marvels, like the pink see-through fantasia, a type of sea cucumber with an umbrella-like brim that lets it row through darkness. These shapeshifters and living oddities push the boundaries of what we expect from biology, combining features and shapes that seem almost surreal. How did such bizarre forms arise? Each shape tells a story of adaptation to crushing pressure, eternal night, and scarce food, conditions that twist evolution into a masterpiece of the strange and unusual. Some deep-sea creatures challenge the very idea of symmetry and form. Take the cockeyed squid, with one eye looming massively larger than the other, an adaptation to see both the faint light from above and the murky depths below. This uneven gaze creates both a functional marvel and a hauntingly alien silhouette, as if the creature sees the world through different dimensions. Imagine such creatures gliding silently through the crushing depths, their bodies lit by bioluminescence, shadows flickering in synchronized waves. This bizarre design provokes wonder and a hint of disquiet. What secrets do those unblinking eyes hold? What do they reveal about the underwater world that remains hidden from us? Then we have the frilled shark, an ancient living fossil that swims like a snake through pitch-black waters. Its eel-like body, lined with frilly gills, and its rows of needle-like teeth evoke an image from a nightmare, the kind of predator lurking just beyond the beam of a deep-sea submersible's light. This prehistoric creature has barely changed for millions of years, a testament to how perfectly suited it is for the crushing pressures and cold of the deep ocean. The frilled shark's eerie, ancient presence hints at a future filled with strange, unchanged survivors of evolution alongside new evolutionary experiments. Can you imagine the terror and fascination of encountering such a creature, ancient and mysterious, silently stalking the abyss? Next is the legendary viperfish, a deep-sea predator with needle-fin, fang-like teeth so large they protrude from its mouth, twisting web-like in the darkness. These fang-carrying jaws create a gruesome trap, capable of seizing prey larger than itself. It's a terrifying sight, a creature seemingly designed to haunt the ocean's cold, dark corridors. The viperfish uses bioluminescent photophores to lure unsuspecting victims, flashing in eerie, pulsing light in endless black. This blend of natural horror and evolutionary genius invites us to ponder what other terrifying hunting adaptations future sea creatures might develop. How far could evolution push these biological weapons in the deep ocean's eternal twilight? In the realm of speculative biology, such creatures offer templates for future marine oddities, shape-shifting beings that combine bizarre forms and startling capabilities. Consider the big-fin squid, an elusive, rarely sighted giant with elbow-like bends in its long, trailing tentacles. These appendages extend far beyond its central body, covered in microscopic suckers that trap prey. Their unusual form is so alien it raises the imagination to new heights. What might similar evolutionary paths create millions of years from now? Could we see creatures whose bodies defy any known animal blueprint? Elongated limbs, segmented neon limbs, or blobby forms that ripple hypnotically? The ocean, with its labyrinthine caves and trenches, is the perfect stage for these biological oddities to evolve and terrify. Other deep-sea residents, like the black swallower, challenge our understanding of even the most basic survival strategies. The black swallower can gulp down prey up to 4 times its own length, its expandable stomach stretching grotesquely to accommodate monstrous meals. Imagine a creature whose body can grotesquely balloon in the inky depths, making room for a feast that might keep it alive for months. This grotesque capability speaks to the brutal feast-or-famine lifestyle dictated by the scarcity of food in the deep ocean. What other monstrous adaptations could evolve to maximize survival? The ocean's dark corridors weave tales of hunger and patience that border on the horrific. Bioluminescence is another feature adding to the strange allure and mystery of deep-sea creatures, lighting up the darkness with ghostly glows. It's a language of light for hunting, mating, and warning, creating eerie, hypnotic displays that dazzle as much as they terrify. The black sea devil anglerfish, with its glowing lure and disproportionately large jaw, embodies this eerie living lamp, resembling a deep-sea demon more than an animal. The males are tiny parasites, permanently fusing to females, a bizarre reproductive strategy born from isolation. Such developed peculiarity suggests future sea creatures might manipulate light and biology in new, terrifying ways, designing natural horrors that could dazzle unwary prey or warn rivals with pulses of bioluminescent horror. Living oddities and shapeshifters reveal a hidden truth. The ocean's future life will be less about neat categories and more about fluid, startling adaptations. Creatures could blend traits from different species, resulting in chimeras of alien elegance and horror. But beyond shapes and lights lies a secret oceanic chorus, where life sings in tentacles, glows, and movements, telling stories still unknown to us. As we peer into the abyss of what could be, questions arise. What is the price of such eerie beauty? Is the ocean's future a natural wonder, a horror show, or both? The mysteries keep unfolding, inviting us to imagine, dread, and marvel at the uncharted depths. In this dark theater beneath the waves, shape and size become tools of survival, weapons of deception, or camouflage in the eternal midnight zone. The future sea is a vast canvas for evolution's wildest ideas, a world where the borders of reality blur. Strange shapes, uncanny sizes, and glowing forms will dance in the pitch black, reminding us that life's creativity is boundless. So as you dream of future sea creatures, let your imagination swim with them, strange, eerie, and beautiful in the most unexpected ways. The ocean's secrets hold wonder, horror, and endless stories ready to surface, waiting for the brave to explore. The ocean, often thought of as a calm and serene blue expanse, hides beneath its surface a volatile and unsettling world shaped by powerful natural forces. One of the most dramatic of these forces comes from the sudden and violent eruptions of methane gas from deep-sea mud volcanoes and vents. Imagine the seafloor bulging and cracking as hidden chambers of methane-rich mud destabilize, releasing vast clouds of this colorless, odorless gas into the surrounding water. These eruptions can shift entire underwater landscapes in a matter of days, pushing up meters of sediment and poisoning the surrounding environment, turning placid seabeds into scenes of geological chaos. The revelation of such violent natural phenomena reminds us that the ocean itself is a dynamic and sometimes monstrous force of nature, far from the tranquil image most of us hold. These methane eruptions occur in deep water environments, where layers of mud and sediment trap bubbles of methane beneath enormous pressure. When something, a tectonic shift, a buildup of gas, or a temperature change, disturbs these delicate balances, frozen gas hydrates within the sediment destabilize. This leads to a rapid expansion and upward eruption of methane-rich mud, turning the seafloor into a roiling and shifting landscape. The process has been likened to underwater volcanic activity, but instead of molten rock, the eruption involves life-threatening clouds of greenhouse gases, creating dark plumes rising ominously toward the surface. Such events are both frightening and fascinating, revealing a violent, hidden side to the ocean's depths. The impact of methane gas eruptions on marine ecosystems is profound and unsettling. These sudden events can decimate benthic habitats, smothering delicate organisms with sediment and disrupting the microbial communities responsible for filtering and consuming gases like methane. This interruption prevents the natural breakdown of methane, allowing larger quantities to escape into the ocean and potentially into the atmosphere, where it acts as a potent greenhouse gas. Could future sea creatures evolve ways to survive or even harness these dangerous emissions? The ocean's volatile environment acts as a crucible for survival strategies that blend resilience with eerie adaptations to toxic, shifting conditions. Temperature fluctuations accompanying gas eruptions add another layer of mystery and horror. Deep-sea vents release warm fluids that can suddenly raise seabed temperatures, destabilizing gas hydrates and triggering further eruptions. This warming creates localized zones where chemical and thermal conditions differ wildly from the surrounding frigid waters. Creatures living in these zones face harsh trials. They must tolerate sudden heat spikes, chemical toxicity, and the physical destruction of their habitats. This makes these methane-rich areas both deadly and strangely vibrant, where unique life forms adapted to withstand these stresses gather. Might future creatures evolve with thermal shields or biochemical mechanisms to thrive amid these deadly pulses? Beyond methane, such eruptions can release carbon dioxide and other gases, making affected zones acidic and inhospitable. Ocean acidification already threatens coral reefs and many marine species, but episodic gas eruptions add unpredictable dangers. Acidic conditions corrode shells and disrupt delicate biochemistry, creating environments where only the hardiest or most bizarrely adapted organisms survive. Picture monstrous sea life evolving calcium-defying exoskeletons or slime-coated skin resistant to corrosion, living horrors shaped by chemical warfare. Each eruption event resets evolutionary pressures, creating new frontiers of adaptation and mystery beneath the waves. One fascinating consequence of these eruptions is their role in shaping ocean floor landscapes. The forceful upward movements of mud cause rapid changes in seabed topography, uplifts, subsidence, and wide lateral flows of sediment. This geological dynamism carves out new habitats while destroying old ones, a harsh reminder that the ocean bottom is a living, breathing terrain in constant flux. Speculating forward, future deep-sea creatures might develop lifestyles akin to nomads or survivors, dwelling temporarily in shifting sedimentary landscapes, adapting to an ever-moving world of mud and pressure. Some might exploit these disturbances, feeding on chemicals or the microbial blooms that spring up in the wake of eruptions. Amid this geological and chemical turmoil, microbial communities provide a glimmer of hope and intriguing mystery. Certain microbes consume methane and other gases, acting as a natural filter that limits greenhouse gas escape. However, frequent eruptions disrupt these communities, forcing a slow recovery over months or years. This precarious balance between eruption and microbial resilience illustrates an oceanic dance of destruction and renewal. Could microbial symbiosis become a foundation for future life forms, forging partnerships that allow survival in one of the planet's most extreme habitats? The ocean depths reveal a story not of mere survival, but of complex interdependence rising out of chaos. The reality of methane eruptions and their consequences challenges our quiet, beautiful vision of the ocean, revealing a violent, mysterious underworld shaped by invisible forces. For any future sea creatures, this is both a grave threat and an evolutionary forge. As methane pulses from the depths and reshapes the seabed, life here is pushed to the brink and reborn into forms both fascinating and unsettling. This unpredictable, restless ocean reminds us that beneath the waves lies a world still largely unknown. A realm where nature's power is as monstrous as it is magnificent, and where the shape and size of future sea life may be shaped by chaos itself. Ocean trenches are some of the most mysterious and extreme environments on Earth, plunging miles beneath the surface into a darkness so deep it feels like a void untouched by light. Have you ever imagined a place where pressure mounts to over 1,000 times that at sea level, where temperatures hover just above freezing, and where sunlight cannot penetrate even a fraction? These are the conditions of the Hadal Zone, a liminal realm of crushing forces and shadowed silence that seems to belong to another world entirely. The Mariana Trench, the deepest known part of the ocean, is the perfect example, boasting depths of nearly 7 miles. It's a staggering thought. If you placed Mount Everest inside this trench, its peak would still lie a mile underwater, cloaked in eternal night. Life in these trenches is not just rare. It's a miracle sculpted by unyielding pressures. Yet, against all odds, creatures have adapted to thrive here, their bodies a testament to evolutionary resilience. Many display bizarre adaptations, like gelatinous tissues and minimal skeletal structure, designed to counterbalance the immense pressure that would crush any ordinary organism. Fish like the Hadal snailfish have translucent skin, revealing their innards, and no swim bladders, only soft, flexible bodies that endure the weight of miles of water above. These adaptations make them look ghostly in this abyssal black, almost like shadows flickering at the edge of human vision. What does the ocean bring to life in such an alien habitat? Food is scarce. Sunlight doesn't provide energy through photosynthesis. Instead, life depends largely on detritus descending from the layers above, the ocean's rain of organic matter. Creatures here have developed slow metabolisms, extreme energy efficiency, and sometimes oversized mouths to maximize rare feeding opportunities. Some scavengers feast on the carcasses of whales that sink to the abyss, creating ephemeral feasts in a starving world. This grim struggle for survival imparts a somber tone to the Hadal depths, a quiet horror of isolation, hunger, and patience. Yet not all is grim in the Hadal Zone. Tubeworms cluster on hydrothermal vents, thriving near pockets of heat and chemical-rich waters released by the Earth's crust. These vents bring warmth and nutrients, creating localized oases amidst the cold. Their existence is symbolic of life's enduring tenacity, carving out niches in a landscape of extremes. Imagine future creatures evolving symbiotic relationships with bacteria that utilize methane or sulfur compounds emitted from vents, creating complex ecosystems independent of sunlight. It's a vision that borders on the alien, a glowing network of life glowing in eternal darkness. But even as life hangs on in these depths, the trench environment poses challenges we can barely fathom. The crushing pressures, over 1,000 times atmospheric pressure, and near-freezing temperatures could easily deform or destroy cellular structures. Yet, marine organisms have evolved unique cellular chemistry, including compounds that stabilize membranes and proteins, ensuring biological functions endure against the odds. Could future sea creatures evolve even stranger biochemical solutions, perhaps with substances unknown to science, allowing them to survive bursts of pressure, toxic chemicals, or seismic shifts. Each adaptation is a story of survival threaded through mystery and awe. The geological activity in trenches adds another eerie layer to this dark narrative. Tectonic plates collide to create these depressions, and frequent earthquakes ripple through, triggering massive underwater landslides. These cataclysmic events reshape the seafloor abruptly and violently, disturbing habitats and forcing inhabitants to adapt or perish. Imagine creatures that can sense these shifts, retreating into the sediments or migrating to safer zones, evolving sensor arrays that detect seismic vibrations. These harsh environmental dynamics produce a continually changing, unpredictable theater where only the most flexible and resilient thrive.